Today is the fifth Sunday of Easter Cycle C. During the missionary efforts of St. Paul, there is a consistent pattern of the sequence of events. Firstly, he visits the local synagogue and preaches there until the leaders of the synagogue throw him out for preaching about Jesus. He then turns to the Gentiles who readily accepts the gospel. Throughout his missionary travels, he endured persecution. However, he never allows this to discourage him from preaching, for which he believes that he is divinely appointed. He continues to teach, advise, console, to uplift his newly formed churches. You too have been appointed during your baptism to preach the gospel. Like Paul, never be discouraged from preaching the gospel. In today's reading, Paul reminds us it is necessary to undergo hardship to enter the kingdom of God. Every athlete knows that if he or she wishes to develop more muscle or endurance, he or she needs to be challenged by heavier weights, longer times, or greater distances. Unless our faith is tested, our faith will never grow. Worse yet, we will believe that we by ourselves are strong enough to resist the following: the temptations of the flesh, the rejection by friends for our beliefs, or persecution for your religious convictions. Our failure when our faith is tested can make us realize that we are totally dependent on the help of God and the grace from God for these situations. The trial of life can draw us closely to God or separate us from Him. We can choose the path of Peter, who wept bitterly but later experienced God's mercy and forgiveness and became leader of the Christian faith, or of Judas, who could not accept his failure and his sinfulness, and without understanding the mercy of God, ended his own life. For us to grow in faith, we have to enter the storm, to cross the barren desert, or to face the powers of hell. Only when, by the grace of God, we can overcome impossible odds, and we have survived the hardships that threatens to crush us, we shall know that God is with us in good times and in bad times. We shall know He is always at our side. In the gospel, Jesus' commandment to love one another is given to the apostles as a crisis is about to unfold. Judas is about to betray Jesus and have him arrested. This will result in his passion and crucifixion. Jesus had expanded the Jewish understanding of love of neighbor, which was limited to fellow Jews, to include strangers, neighbors, which was limited, and enemies, which is parable of the Good Samaritan. The hurt and anger at unjust condemnation of Jesus, followed by his passion and death, could have resulted in arguments among the disciples, blaming each other for abandoning or denying Jesus. In a crisis, we need to love each other That is to demonstrate patience, compassion, forgiveness, and mercy, lest we turn against each other and destroy the unity of the family or the group. Without forgiveness and mercy, disputes with enemies and hatred of others will continue for years. Love one another as Jesus has loved us. No sacrifice was too great for him, even his own life.